Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Online here, and welcome back to another video, guys. So guys, today I'm going to be going over the E3 press conference that Sony had yesterday, and overall giving you my impressions on what we saw there. So first off, I wanted to tell you guys that I actually went to the movie theater event there. It was pretty cool, but it wasn't really nice in the beginning because pretty much what was happening was the theater was so unorganized in the beginning that pretty much we got let in like 7 to 6 minutes after that press conference started. So I remember checking Twitter and just hearing about all the orchestra going on and saying how it sounded like God of War music. And I remember being in line just, can you hurry up so we can get in here? And then I just remember being on Twitter, everybody's like, on all caps, God of War 4, oh my gosh. And I was just like, okay, well, sadly this movie theater's taken forever to get us in, which is annoying. But other than that, I mean, the movie theater was pretty cool. We got some pretty cool swag there, like this little thing, yeah, I showed you from before. We got some pretty cool codes. I believe it gave you like $10 on here, which was pretty nice. And overall, it's pretty nice. I also got a poster, I believe. It's in my living room out there. But it's pretty cool. I'm glad I went to the event despite that little mishap in the beginning because I was really annoying. But Sony showed off so many great things. This was probably the perfect press conference. Yesterday was a pretty mediocre day. I thought Xbox had a decent, pretty great conference, actually. Ubisoft had a pretty good one, too. But it's, nothing like the big surprises. Game reveals. That's the only thing these conferences were really lacking was the new video game, reveals that you really, really want to play. And that's what pretty much Sony brought. They brought out, a bunch of games that we haven't seen yet. And overall, this was the conference that everybody was waiting for that wanted new games. So first off, I'm going to go with what they started off. As you guys heard, I said that they started off with God of War. The game looks amazing. I mean, Kratos is back, as we know, and he has a son, it looks like. I'm pretty sure that's his son. And they went hunting, and then all of a sudden they got into this whole fight. I'm not going to go into this whole thing, because I didn't really get to see much of it. But I got to see it, as soon as he threw back his axe, and then that's when I came into the movie theater and finally got in. I got to see about half the demo, but that's really when the action started picking up. The combat looks as ever gory, and the game just looks great. Sony Santa Monica is back on the PS4, just like one of my predictions was. And yep, they're back, so I guess that was a great prediction. Another prediction I did get right was Sony Ben's going to be announcing their new game, Days Gone. Although I thought it was Dead Don't Ride, it seems like Days Gone. If you guys didn't know, I made a Last of Us 2 video about a couple months ago, where I was talking about Last of Us 2 Days Gone. Well, that trademark was completely different, not for The Last of Us, but this was actually for Sony Ben's new game. If you guys don't know who Sony Ben is, they made Uncharted Golden Abyss, and now they're back on the PlayStation 4 with their new open world, kind of like zombie game. I think it's open world, kind of / linear area. The game's looking great. We got a trailer, and it's pretty much he was at that biker before this all started. After that, they showed off 3 more games. Last Guardian, we got a pretty quick trailer, not showing much, but we did get some story, little snippets in there, and we got a release date of October 25th of 2016, so that's great. October's looking to become the new November this year. I mean, there's so many great things coming out, like PlayStation VR, Titanfall 2, Battlefield 1, Skyrim Remastered, and now we got the Last Guardian, so it's just becoming a crazy, as well as we got Skylanders Crash, which is pretty cool. So yeah, it's going to be a crazy month for October. It's like the new November this year. I guess all they had the same idea, maybe we'll put it into October instead of being November with everybody else, and everybody did it the same year. I don't know what went on, but yeah, everybody's all of a sudden going into October, which is pretty nice. More crowded than usual, but that's pretty good. Other than that, they showed off 2 more games. We saw another Horizon demo showing more of the, JRPG or MO, I don't even know what this whole genre is, but it looks pretty cool. I think it's an RPG kind of game. Looking nice as always. Guerrilla Games is doing a great job in the game. It looks really beautiful, and I'm looking forward to playing it February 28th. Yeah, as you guys know, it got delayed last week, which is kind of sad, but I mean, you want to, the games to get perfected, if they need time, give it to them, and yeah, they're going to be using it to their best potential, and I'm sure the game's going to be really great. After that, we saw our final, 5 exclusives, because they started off the conference with 5 exclusives, and the final one was Detroit. This game looked really awesome, probably, one of the best games, despite God of War and Days Gone. That actually looked unique, because we didn't see this game much before, and pretty much it showed this one scenario with this guy taking a little girl as hostage, and it pretty much showed how these different results can lead to different scenarios and how you're changing the game, and it just showed how many solutions there were. Must have been dozens upon dozens of different ways you could play the game and different results coming out into each scenario, and that's just one scenario of the whole entire game leading up to the ending. It's just crazy. The game looks like you're gonna have a different experience than anybody else is gonna have the game, so it's kind of like the Telltale thing, but really, really taken on to the masses there. So it's really cool. Looking forward to seeing Detroit more. I'm guessing that's going to be coming out in 2017 since they didn't really give us a release date at all. But really looking forward to that game. So then we went to the PSVR segment of the conference, and people were worried that this was going to be really boring and, dull. But this is actually probably one of the best parts of the conference because they showed off a lot of unannounced games, just like in the beginning. They started off showing us this kitchen demo that we've heard about before a long time, this whole little horror thing. And then they announced it was going to be Resident Evil Resident Evil 7, yeah. And pretty much the big surprise there is they announced that this whole game's gonna be playable in VR, which we haven't really seen before. So this whole entire horror game, Resident Evil 7, is gonna be played from beginning to end on PlayStation VR, which was absolutely amazing. And then we went over and Sean Layden came out and also explained how it's gonna be a demo and playable tonight. Actually, I have it on my PS4 right here. The demo's playable starting tonight, well, yesterday, tonight. And they pretty much announced if you have PlayStation Plus, you can get the demo and play it right away, like the first half an hour to an hour of the game, which is awesome. So then right after that, we went to Star Wars VR mission, and the game looks really, really cool. I mean, it's not really a game, but it's like a little VR mission experience type of thing. And pretty much you're flying at X-Wings, they haven't really explained, what you're going to be doing, but you're flying in X-Wings, and it's called, like, the X-Wing VR mission, only on PlayStation VR. And the cool thing is, if you have Star Wars Battlefront, you get this for free, so it's kind of like a little DLC mission with VR, and it just looks amazing. It looks really graphically amazing. I'm probably going to have gameplay up on here, like the little trailer thing. And the game just looks really cool, and I'm looking forward to playing this little VR experience coming out later this year. Then they went to one of the biggest surprises for VR, and that was Batman Arkham VR. Yes, they announced that Batman's coming back. We thought the last game was last year with Batman Arkham Knight, but they announced it's coming back for a little VR experience, which looks absolutely amazing. They didn't say what they're going to be doing at the actual press conference, but I read on the blog that it's going to be like a crime investigation. It's going to be about an hour-long experience on VR, and it's going to be like, feeling like you are Batman in first person, which is actually pretty cool. You're going to be playing as Batman in first person, and, feeling like you are Bruce Wayne / Batman, putting on the suit and everything and looking at these detective crimes. Pretty cool. Looking forward to seeing Rocksteady and how they do this, because, Rocksteady is so good in that Batman universe, and, giving them VR is going to be amazing. So, yeah, I can't wait to see what Rocksteady does with VR. And then the final game that they showed, I believe, the final 2 games that they showed. So coming back to this, they pretty much showed Farpoint, which is a little PSVR exclusive, where you get stranded on, like, a planet. And pretty much the whole premise is, trying to survive and try to find your crew members, which may or may not be alive. And it's pretty cool. It has a pretty cool premise to the story. They haven't really showed much of it yet, but they also showed that they're going to have, like, a little gun, little VR, tie into it. So that's pretty cool. If it's not a gimmick, that would be pretty cool. And I believe that game is, I'm not sure if it's coming out later this year or not, but it definitely has my interest, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of that game. And then the final game they showed off was Final Fantasy. I'm not really good with the numbers of Final Fantasy because I'm not into the games, but they showed off this little Final Fantasy demo type of thing. It's like aside from the actual storyline of the game, and you pretty much play as Prompto during these big boss scenes, and you actually get to help them fight the bosses, these little boss battles, and you get to experience Final Fantasy universe in first person as Prompto, which is a pretty cool idea. But going back to the Call of Duty, it's kind of irrelevant, so I'm going to skip over that. And then went to probably one of the biggest highlights for many, and that was Crash Bandicoot's return. Yeah, Crash Bandicoot's finally returning. They're doing Crash 1, Crash 2, and Crash 3, which is like Crash Warped or something. Pretty much, they're working with Activision, and they're bringing back these 3 games on remastered from the ground up right away, because it's the PlayStation 1 titles, So it's going to be really cool to see Crash back on PS4. A lot of people are excited. It's coming out in 2017, and they're also having a Skylanders kind of tie-in with Crash in 2016, which is pretty cool itself, but mainly people are looking forward to the remasters coming in 2017. Okay, I'm losing my voice because I'm talking so much, and this video is already 10 minutes long, dang. Kojima's game, it was pretty cool. Kojima came and he was walking down this little ramp. He's kind of walking ahead of it, which is kind of funny, I thought. But he pretty much showed that Norman Reedus is back in his new game called Death Stranding. Looks kind of weird. You can't really, it's probably going to be kind of like the PT kind of thing where it's like horror-ish. But it looks pretty cool. Norman Reedus is back for the project, which is pretty cool. And yeah, so the final 2 games were pretty cool. One of them we already seen before, but the one that we didn't see before was Spider-Man. Yes, they announced that PS4 is getting its own exclusive Spider-Man game. I'll probably put gameplay up right here. And pretty much it shows that Peter Parker is back, and it's being worked on by Insomniac, which is pretty cool, the creators of Ratchet and Clank. So it's going to be cool to see their little tie-in in this cartoon, Spider-Man universe, exclusively only for PlayStation 4. I can't wait to see more of that game, because that really has my interest, and hopefully PS4 can get a good Spider-Man game. And yeah, so the final game they showed was a demo of Dead Don't Ride, or no, I keep calling it Dead Don't Ride, but it's Days Gone. I don't know why I keep calling it Dead Don't Ride, because that's what everybody thought Ben's game was for the longest time. But it's Days Gone, and they showed up a cool little, like, 5-10 minute demo of it, and it looks really cool, the amount of zombies, or I guess you can call them zombies, because they haven't really clarified on that. And pretty much you're running away from them, and it shows different ways you can actually run from them, but he chooses, the guy playing it, chooses one way to escape from the zombies, and at the very end, after shooting a bunch of them down, you just realize you're cornered in, and it kind of leaves us in a cliffhanger kind of way. So, that game's probably going to be coming out in 2017, fall-ish. But I wouldn't be surprised if it got delayed to 2018, because Sony has a tendency on delaying their first-party exclusive. But that was Sony's conference, and yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I thought the conference was really, really interesting, probably the best conference of, the whole E3 2016. The reason I like it so much is they just showed off game after game after game. They didn't focus on any, bluff or anything. I mean, they showed off some Activision Skylanders and stuff in Call of Duty, but other than that, they didn't show off really any bluff that they wanted to. They just showed off all their first-party exclusives and some, like, Final Fantasy as well. It was just really well organized, and they just kept jumping. It was probably the shortest conference that day, but easily the best conference that day. E3 conferences have finally ended. And yeah, so anyways guys, I've been Online, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.